I don't think you're any fucking different from a Muslim, frankly. I think Christians are exactly the same.
So I came across this video from Actual Jake, where he tries to defend Muslims but actually ends up indicting them.
I don't think you're any fucking different from a Muslim, frankly. I think Christians are exactly the same. They just do their terrorism in a different way. They might not be willing to, do the famous acts of terrorism, like blow up planes and like die in the process, or like bombs or whatever strapped to them, but they'll fucking go into holy war and die as a soldier with bullets and knives and be right up in. I don't know what the difference is functionally. Just like you're less brave than a Muslim, I guess. Like you're less convicted than Muslim terrorists.
9/11, September 11th. Look at what they accomplished with no weapons and just 11 guys who didn't even speak English.
Something about ramming your truck into a crowd of innocent shoppers doesn't strike me as brave personally. And what holy wars are you talking about? The 16th century? 15th? You know, Islamic terrorist attacks are still happening to this day, and quite frequently at that.
Right now, anytime socialism gets a foothold of power, they get really fucking scared. Like the powers that be, they're really fucking scared because they know it's gonna work. And it does work every single time because we need stuff. You don't need to commodify everything. Decommodify necessities, and suddenly the whole world fucking blooms.
Oh yeah, socialism works every single time, except every single time that it's been tried. Obviously he's not going to give any examples because it would be easy to debunk.
If markets in general are just a fun place we go hang out, because I like the idea of having a little point system and going and buying stuff. I like it, but not when your survival is at stake. And I don't think we should couple those things.
Aha, it seems he's using the low IQ definition of socialism. What you're describing is social democracy, a la the Nordic model. That is a capitalist system with free healthcare and social safety nets. That's different to Mondami, who's described himself as a democratic socialist, but he also might be an idiot conflating the terms.
I am a democratic socialist!
Is that Muslims are lying in order to appear that they're assimilating into the countries that they're in until eventually they gain enough power in order to implement their agenda.
Yes, the answer is yes. This is the Jews control everything, but instead it's a twist. The Muslims are trying. Just super racism.
Ah yes, Muslims are assimilating perfectly, and they abandon their Islamic views when they come to our country.
But the point is, the minute you want to say, one day I want a caliphate that punishes gays and criminalizes them, then I've got a problem.
But that's not the issue. The issue is killing people. The issue
do you aspire one day to a Sharia state that will criminalize and outlaw homosexuality?
Yes, I do, because eventually I think that would be...
And this woman is not alone. Over half of British Muslims think that homosexuality should be illegal. And according to her, she would want that instated in our Western country with our Western values.
I'm not trying to evade your question.
You believe in stoning people to death?
It's part of the Sharia. It's part of the hudud. You can't deny that as a Muslim.
Yes or no?
Yes, but in principle, however, I don't believe.
There you have it. You can't deny that as a Muslim. Here's another example of a devout Muslim refusing to condemn underage marriage.
Do you reject the fact that marrying 14-year-olds is wrong?
I'm not rejecting anything.
So you think it's okay to marry 14-year-olds?
I did not say that.
You refuse to say it's wrong.
I'm saying I'm not expressing my opinions.
Are you a Muslim?
As a Muslim, if you reach the age of puberty, you are allowed to be married.
Can you condemn having sex with 14-year-olds?
I'm not condemning anything.
Okay.
Jesus, imagine your religion being so shit and backwards that you can't condemn having sex with an underage girl.
Are you going to... The stance here is that you're having to defend is that you don't think Islamophobia is bad in New York City? Like, do you think Islamophobia is a real thing? Probably not, right? He would just reject the premise. You don't think people are just racist towards Muslims irrationally? He thinks it's rational because he's Islamophobic.
It's all just Islamophobia. Is it Islamophobia if a homosexual person is afraid of these people who are coming in huge numbers that think that what they're doing is immoral and should be illegal? A group of people that 100% on average think that your lifestyle is immoral. What are you afraid of? Having your head detached from your body like happened in Sligo? That's irrational.
Somehow we end up on the topic of, guess what? Islamophobia. Muslims most impacted. It doesn't matter who gets hurt, who gets killed, what stupid portion of their ideology ended up motivating that particular attack.
There are more Christian terrorist attacks in the United States than Muslim ones.
There are more Christian attacks than Muslim terrorist attacks, the clown says. If you can read, which I know is a big ask, because we know actual Jake is averse to books. It says right, not Christian. Christianity and right wing are two different things. I know that's a lot for you to understand. The definition of right-wing terrorism included motivation by white supremacy, anti-abortion beliefs, incels, and other right-wing ideologies. Even taking incels, research shows that they're actually slightly left of center politically. Whether or not I believe that research, to equate them with the right wing is a stretch, and to call them Christians is a further stretch. A stretch crossing over the line into stupidity. I found it weird that they didn't include people like Ismail Brimsley, who shot 2 police officers. Being an incel is enough to include you in right wing, but being anti-police doesn't include you in left wing for whatever reason. And they don't include 9/11 in this. I know, those brave soldiers of 9/11. All those caveats aside, even if we are to take his stupid claim at face value that this chart really does represent Christian versus Islamic terrorism, this is still shocking. Considering that Islam is only 1% of the population and Christianity is 62%, that's still a shocking per capita figure. It's the same in Europe. Any given year, the most terrorist attacks are jihadist related. And every year they find that jihadist terrorism is the most lethal, which is the same thing the report that you cited found. Islamist terrorists are still the deadliest. Even your own source proves you wrong.
Instances of this actually occurring. And in fact, Jewish Americans experience way more religiously motivated hate incidents. And I also want to point out,
No, they don't. They just literally don't.
And Jake's source is just, nuh-uh. According to right-wing sources like CNN, there are on average around 200 anti-Muslim hate crimes per year. But in the case of anti-Semitism, it's more like 2,000, and this is pre-October 7. All it would have taken is a simple Google search to stop you from looking like an idiot. But we all know that's a bit much for actual Jake.